Hey there, can you believe it's time to review already for topic 13? It's so cool, huh? We have done an excellent 5 days worth of assignments to break apart this idea about evaluating and writing numerical expressions and how to make sense of numbers and operations into finding answers. And I'm so glad you guys took the time to go through that. So today on the video, my whole objective is just to review the important vocabulary, the important ideas, and the strategies behind figuring out answers to these kinds of math problems. So in this video, here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch, I want you to grab a pencil and a paper, and I'd like you to write down your answers to each one of these. When you write your answer, if you get it wrong, will you please change it to the right one? And if you get it right, check mark it. Let's see how well you do by the end, okay? So you're ready for this review and the test coming up soon. All right, so number one, we're going to choose a word from this word list and we're going to write it on the blank. It says a set of rules that describes the order in which calculations are done is known as the braces, brackets, evaluate, numerical expression, order of operations, parentheses, or variable. Well, I know for sure it's not braces or brackets or parentheses, so those are already gone. It could be any of the rest, but let me look for some keywords inside of this text, okay? Let's see, I notice that it's showing me, so a set of rules, that's there. It's also showing me order, that's there, and calculations are done. Order in which calculations are done. Ooh, order, and then I see a word order over here. So I'm thinking the best answer for my number one is going to be, you got it, order of operations, okay? All right, number two, blank, blank, and blank are symbols used in mathematical expressions to group numbers or variables. Well, I remember the GEMDAS or the PEMDAS, PEMDAS or GEMDAS. And I know that G, group, stands for three different kinds of groups. I see them in my list. So let's start writing them down. I bet you got the same set. Braces, brackets, and parentheses. Those are the three. Good job. All right, number three, a blank is a mathematical phrase that contains numbers and at least one operation. Or unblank is a mathematical phrase. So I'm looking right here for something that means mathematical phrase. I know that, let me go ahead and do this. I've used that one, I've used this one, I've used this one, and I've used this one. All right, so we're down to three. A mathematical phrase that contains numbers and at least one operation. Well, evaluate's a verb, so that doesn't fit. Numerical expression, that's a noun, and variable, that's a noun. Which one, two of these fit the best? A blank is a mathematical phrase. I don't think a variable is a phrase, so I'm left with my last option, numerical expression. All right, so I've used those, and I think that gets me to a point where I am done. I have two left anyways, but they weren't called for. All right, number four, for each term give an example and a non-example. So what is a numerical expression? What's not a numerical expression? What's an expression with parentheses and what's not an expression with parentheses? All right, so maybe you can start writing down your example. A numerical expression has numbers and symbols. That's it. This is a non-example. It has numbers, but it also has an equal sign, and then if we solved that, we would have a solution there at the end. This is a non-example. This was an expression. This one is not that one because it just has numbers and symbols. This one because, or operations and numbers, pardon me. This one is because it has an equation or an equal sign. It's different. An expression with parentheses. All right, well, let's do that. I'm going to use the same numbers so I don't have to always come up with something new. But this time I'm going to add parentheses. And this would be a non-example. Same numbers. Just still possible to find a solution to it. It's just that it is not an expression. And it comes up with a different yeah. Okay. All right, so these are examples of expressions with a numerical expression and one with parentheses, and these are non-examples. Okay, just because of that equal sign. All right, so 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 all ask us to draw a line from column A to the correct value in column B. So let's evaluate. 3 plus 6 times 2. Well, we know that we have to multiply before we add because of the PEMDAS. So multiply and divide before you add or subtract. So 6 times 2, that's 12. And then 3 plus 12, that's 15. Look, there's our 15. Let's just go ahead and draw our line over. Done. All right, number 7. We have parentheses this time, which means that's where we have to start. So 8 minus 5 is 3. Our new equation will look something like this. I'll just use the side for now. 12 times 3 minus 7. So now that I'm at this point, I have to decide, well, which one is next? Do I multiply or do I subtract next? Well, I know in the order of operations, multiply happens before subtraction, so I'm going to multiply first. 12 times 3 is 36. So now my new expression is 36 minus 7. And if I solve that, 36 minus 7, 36 minus 6 is 30. 30 minus 1 more is 29. So number 7 is 29. I'll drag my line right over to 29. All right, very nice. Let's get rid of these. We don't need them anymore. Next, number 8. 7 times 5 plus 3 minus 1. Well, I see brackets and I see parentheses. So let's do parentheses first, always. 3 minus 1 is 2. So now I have an equation that looks like this. 7 times, 5 plus 3, and I have this. Okay, I don't need that minus 1 anymore because I did 3 minus 1, sorry, and that is 2. Okay, so now that I'm this far, I'm thinking, okay, what do I do next? Multiply or add? Well, because these brackets, pardon me, are here, I need to do them first and then I can multiply, even though add would normally come last. Because they're inside of the brackets, I have to do them first. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So my new equation says 7 times 7, which I know in my head is 49. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line from here over to my 49. Right there. All right. Very good. Okay, let's do number 9. 20 divided by 5 plus 13 minus 6 times 2. Well, here's parentheses, so I do that first. 13 minus 6. 13 minus 3 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. So 13 minus 6 is 7. So our new equation is going to say 20 divided, let me find my symbol here. Try that again. Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay, it's not working very well. Let's just see if I can do it from here. Divided. I'll use this one. 5 plus, and now I already know that 13 minus 6 is 7 times 2. Well, I know that looking at this, I've got division here, addition here, and multiplication here. Well, working from left to right, I know I'm going to divide first. So 20 divided by 5 is what I'm going to work on next, and that is 4. Oops. Let me switch over. So 4 plus 7 times 2. Okay, so now I'm at a point where I need to decide, am I going to add first or multiply? There's no parentheses, and if I'm working left to right, I need to multiply first. So 7 times 2 is 14, so I'm going to do 4 plus 14. I know the answer to that is 18, and I see my 18 right here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my number over to 18. Now that makes the last one really easy. It's got to be 20, but let's just prove it right and prove you right. So we're going to go grab this, and it has braces, it's got brackets, and it's got parentheses, and parentheses are always first. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. So my new equation is going to say 10 times 11 minus 9. Okay, now inside of these symbols, I've got brackets, and then outside I've got braces. So I'm going to do the brackets next. 11 minus 9, that's 2. And then I've got the 10 times still here. And now I know my last one is 10 times 2 is 20. And I just proved it all right. Okay. Last one, explain why the order of operations is important. Use at least 3 terms from the word list in your explanation. Using the order of operations is important to properly evaluate, that means solve, a numerical expression. Oh, I used 3. I used order of operations, I used evaluate, and I used numerical expression. And I'm done. There you go. You need order of operations in order to properly evaluate any numerical expression you have. So if you were able to do that with me, it made sense to you, you are right on track and doing really well. I hope you join me today to play the game and as a review on our phone call. And you get a chance to review evaluating expressions in the right orders, and you get used to the order of the parentheses and then the braces and then the brackets. I'm sorry, and then the brackets and then the braces. Anyway, you'll get used to it. It'll be really fun, and I hope to see you then. Otherwise, enjoy your review today and be prepared for a practice test coming up so that you can be really ready to take this test coming. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you later.